some of them who may be of the Republican persuasion, although we're not going to give up on them, are we? We're going to keep trying to reach out to them. First thing you can tell them, as best as you could tell, looking under the lights, I don't have horns. The second thing you can tell them is that, you know, our economy does better when we have a Democrat in the White House. That is just a fact.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, she may not have horns, but it doesn't stop her from lying through her teeth. Welcome to Give Me Five. I don't know where to start with this. Hillary, now they're talking about her making an outreach to Republicans. And here, this I think was step one. Hey, look, under the light, I don't have horns. You know, I'm not the devil. Well, she may not have horns. It doesn't change that she's under FBI investigation. It doesn't change the fact that she lies like she breathes, and perhaps the most egregious lie of all was something we've documented on this show, where the parents of the victims of Benghazi have all said, and the relatives have said, that when she came back, she greeted them when the coffins returned with the flag draped over them. She turned to each one of them and said, we're going to get the guy who made that video. And she, when asked by Stephanopoulos 2 weeks ago, did you say that to them? She said, no. She's a liar. She's always been a liar. She'll always be a liar. So she could smile and cackle and make an attempt at jokes. She's Hillary Rodham Clinton under criminal investigation by the FBI. Okay? Let's not forget who she is. But here's more.
As a student of history, I feel right now this country is as divided as since the Civil War. My question to you is, for the first time in all of the times I've listened to you, when you said the Republicans as your enemy, it was disheartening. I'm not asking you to retract it. What I'm asking you is, when you are president, would you please extend the olive branch and let us, because we're all Americans, Hillary.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, I was answering, I think they sometimes view me that way, and that, you know, like the Iranians, et cetera.
All right, so the woman says, why did you call Republicans enemies? I'm not asking you to retract it, but when you're president, could you please, you know, work with Republicans? And she said, yeah, I agree with you. Well, if you agree with her, why just say Republicans are your enemies when asked to name your enemies? If you agree with her. Lie again. I mean, please, everything she says is a lie. But did you hear what she said? Sometimes they view me like that, you know, like the Iranians, which is what she said the Iranians were, like Republicans, enemies to her. So now she's trying to turn it around. Don't you love it? She did it without a cackle. But there's cackles to come. Here Hillary was interviewed on BuzzFeed. Watch this.
In preparation for this interview, I watched a lot of your interviews, and I noticed you never sweat, like physically.
We are the sweatiest humans on the planet.
Like, I've done like a little bit of press, and I get so hot.
I'm
TV
sweating
lights,
right now. I'm
stage
still.
lights. Like, what is your deodorant situation?
Well, first of all, you've only done a little bit. When you've done as much as I
like,
have.
what is your secret?
You know, my secret is just you do it so often. You didn't see me 40 years ago when I did my first one.
I don't mean like sweat because you're nervous. I just mean physically.
Like this.
It's
Lights
hot.
are very, very hot.
I told you there were cackles aplenty. Now Hillary, again, in an attempt to humanize herself, tries to tell us all that she's actually a robot. Watch.
What's the weirdest thing about you?
The weirdest thing about me is that I don't sweat.
Yes,
Obviously.
best theory for
Obviously.
Hillary's a robot, zero sweat.
See, you guys are the first to realize that I'm really not even a human being. I was constructed in a garage in Palo Alto
This
a very
explains
long
a
time
lot.
ago.
Tell us
People
more.
think that, you know, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they created
They
it.
don't even know.
Oh, no. I mean, a man whose name shall remain nameless created me in his garage.
Okay. By the way, notice her Chicago, her Illinois accent when she says Steve Jobs. That's who she is, you see. When she puts on these phony fake Southern accents or black accents, depending on the audience, that is once again Hillary trying to be somebody she's not, which is what she always does. Because now we know she's a robot created in some guy's garage.